Welcome to Nina's Knots Crochet. I'm Lynanne. If you're new here, hi, thanks for stopping by, checking out my channel. It's all about crochet, a little bit about knitting, a lot about yarn, and my journey in this fantastic yarny community with a little bit of life thrown in. Returning subscribers, thanks so much for coming and spending a little bit of your Wednesday with me. I know I've been MIA and I appreciate you hanging out. I appreciate all of your good thoughts and your prayers. Let's do a little update. So last Wednesday, a week ago today, my husband just took a turn for the worst. If you remember back in June, after we had gotten back from Indiana for our granddaughter's graduation, he got super sick, ended up in the ICU. Big long saga. He lost a lot of blood, like more than a human could probably lose at one time. But they caught the bleeding in time and he spent some time in the hospital. He should have gone to rehab from there, but for whatever reason, the system failed us and they sent us home. They were also supposed to send home health care. And again, the system failed us and they didn't. So for about a month, I was his total caretaker. He could hardly walk. He was incoherent at times. He never got aggressive or combative, but he just was very confused and it was more than I can handle. So we had taken him back to the family doctor and told her what was going on. And she's like, oh no, this is what you're going to do. So we ended up back at the hospital a week ago Wednesday. And they took one look at him and admitted him right away. They were not convinced that they didn't stop all the bleeding because his iron was practically nothing and he had a really low hemoglobin count. Like he was like 0.2 away from having to be transfused. So just so your reference, this is what they told me. A regular person's low end on their hemoglobin should be about 12 is the number that they're looking for. When my husband was admitted to the hospital on Wednesday, his was 8.4. They transfuse somewhere around 7. So he was getting really dangerously close to needing a transfusion. They put him in the hospital on Wednesday. Thursday, they ran a multitude of tests and CAT scans and x-rays and blood tests up the wazoo. Nothing they could find was definitive, so they wanted to do an ENG scope. So they did that on Friday. And they found that no, he was not still bleeding. However, the reason he's not eating and the reason he's not feeling very well is because where they had to fix what was bleeding, he's not healing very fast. So they changed the medication, and they're like, okay, we're going to send him to rehab. Now that was Friday. Saturday, he took a turn for the worse again and started to becoming very incoherent, unable to stay awake. Now they're realizing that there's more going on than just the low hemoglobin. So they did a blood gases and found that his CO2 had built up again. So he had dangerously high levels of CO2 in his blood when they did it on Saturday. And again, for a frame of reference, somebody my husband's age, and he's 60, their number should be nothing more nothing above 30. And sorry about that, my hair's in my face. When they tested it on Saturday, his CO2 number was 60. So double what a normal person should have in their body. So basically he was poisoning. He was suffering from CO2 poisoning. They brought in respiratory and put him on a couple of different machines. And in the meantime, he's still digressing. They changed the type of machine they were using. Instead of putting him on a CPAP machine that people would normally use for, say, sleep apnea, they put him on a BiPAP machine that is like one step below a ventilator, where it actually helps him breathe. So he has a condition called hypoventilation, which means that he's taking in enough oxygen and his blood is getting enough oxygen into his system, but he's not expelling. And so it's like he forgets how to breathe out. So they have a machine doing that for him right now. Well, because he's been sitting in a chair since Wednesday, because he doesn't sleep in a bed because, you know, long story. Now his legs have swollen to the point now that his legs are infected and swollen. So now we have wound care coming in and dealing with that. In the meantime, the rehab center has been in. They are going to accept him into their facility. Thank God it's in Ocala. I don't have to go far, because they were talking about one in Orlando, which is like almost 2 hours away. But the one here in Ocala is going to take them. And they're an aggressive facility. They specialize in stroke rehab, but he hasn't really had a stroke, but he has all the symptoms of somebody who has had a stroke. Because of his blood being so depleted, his muscles have just deteriorated. So he doesn't have any muscle function in his legs or in his arms. So they're going to rehabilitate him to be able to come home. That is the goal. It is pouring rain, so if you hear that on my awnings, I apologize. So anyway, he's on the road. It's going to be a long recovery. So videos are probably going to be hit or miss for a while, because it is 45 minutes into town to go to the hospital and or to the rehab center. The rehab center is even a little further than the hospital. So to be honest with you people, I'm exhausted. But I have been doing some crochet. I mean, when you're sitting there watching your husband sleep, what do? You watch YouTube and you work on your crocheting. So today's crochet, I'm going to show you, I have one finished object, and I have another thing I kind of want to show you. I've been digging it. And then I've got 2 cowls that started. Well, Jackie's is more of a make along, so you can make whatever you want, but hers is 80s themed. And so it's like, I love the 80s or something. And you know, I was a young mother in the 80s, so I have vivid memories of the 80s. And then I've started Bogey Creek. And if you can see, I'm wearing my Bogey Creek shirt. Be brave, be kind, be you. Bogey Creek drive starts today, or started yesterday, Tuesday, August 1st. Today's the 2nd. So, Lynette, Charm Granny, Nancy, She's Got Yarn Too, and Billy, the Crafty Floridian, are in charge of the drive. But I'm gonna help them out here. We're gonna beat the goal that they've got. You know, this community in a short time last year, over almost 400 blankets, 360 some blankets. We want to beat that this year. I will link Nancy's and Lynette's channels below, because they've both put out a video with the exact measurements and the exact things that they're looking for. I don't want to say it again because I got corrected so many times last year, but I know what it is in my head. But I want you all to go to Nancy's channel or to Lynette's channel and get the exact measurements. They're looking for a specific size for the kids. Not that they won't take other blankets, but if you want the blanket that you make and you donate to the kids to go home with them, you need to make it to the exacting size that they're looking for. So if yours is bigger than that or even smaller than that, they'll take them. They'll use them for the adults who stay. The doctors, and some of the doctors bring their families in and make a vacation out of it. The volunteers stay in like condos. It's a wonderful setup. Speaking of, I was working on a bogey blanket while I was sitting in the hospital, and one of the doctors who was treating my husband came in and made a comment on it. Let me show you it. You guys haven't seen this one in a while. And she's like, I love the colors of that. And I said, well, I'm making this for a blanket drive. Have you ever heard of Camp Bogey Creek in Eustis? And she's like, oh my God, when I was in college and she went to University of Florida in Gainesville, she said, we volunteered there every summer. And I'm like, that's fabulous. Well, that's where this blanket's gonna go. And this is the blanket that I've been working on. So as I'm sitting in the hospital, I've been working on this. The last time you saw this, I was right here. I've done this much working on it. And I am using Big Twist, which is all 100% acrylic, because that's what they're looking for, is acrylic blankets, because they're easy for the kids, you know, parents to wash. You don't have any special care instructions. So Big Twist, 100% acrylic. We have black. We have hot pink. And this one is called teal. So these are the colors that I am using for my bogey blanket, which I'm double dipping these blankets, this color, into Jackie from Crochet HD. She's doing the I Love the 80s cowl. Hello, neon colors, black and woohoo. Does that say 80s also? So double dip on this one. This bogey blanket will be going for my I Love This 80s cowl. Woohoo. So yeah, when I picked out these colors, I had no idea Jackie was doing an I Love the 80s make along, and this just, it just fits. And this is a Jacob's ladder. I pulled the one up to show the nurse how it works. This Jacob's ladder pattern is one that I got from Crochet Canada, Sandy, and she did one similar to this. I think she used a different color in the, I think she used like purples or something, but anyway, it's not a ripple, because Lord knows I don't do ripples. I never figure out. It's just straight across, and she has a tutorial on her channel for you to do. But it's look how cool that the like Jacob's ladder part, the faux cable is gonna look going up this blanket. It is gonna be so fun. This is a lot of fun. So I hope the kids love it. So that is my first bogey blanket, and I'll be finishing this because this is one of those where I don't have to think. You know, I got to shut my brain off and sit quietly in the hospital room and just crochet away on that. So this is gonna do a twofer: the bogey blanket and the I Love the 80s cowl for Jackie. The other cowl that started on the first is the flower cowl from Judy's Creations and Crochet. I will pop a picture of the inspiration up here, and I am going to make another blanket. This one I think I'm going to do a moss stitch, because I have multiples of colors that I want to put in. I am going to use my Karen Cotton Cakes, because these are easy care also. I think it says, yeah, machine washed and dryable, super easy. These are number 4. This color is Candied Flowers, with the pinks and the greens and the yellows and the cream. And then we have Rosewater Biscuit with more of the pinks and a little bit of white and some soft like butter yellow. And then we have vanilla waffle, vanilla wafers, which is more cream and more rose and more yellows. And then the last one is this candied flowers again? Oh, do I have 2 candied flowers? I have 2 candied flowers. I have another one. Hold on. There's a different one down here somewhere. Dropped it. Excuse me. Watch my head. I'm sorry. Apricot sorbet was the other one. With some more yellow and some more coral and pinks. So this doesn't have a whole lot of the purple in it. Because, you know, these gladiolas, are those gorgeous or not? I mean, seriously. But I thought with the yellows and the pinks and the purples, if I did, you know, kind of a scrappy type looking blanket, did a few rows with one of these and did a few rows of one of these, and then, you know, pulled from, you know, the outside of this one and then pulled from the inside of this one, just to kind of make it a mishmash. These are, I got a couple of, this is a painterly cake. This is a lava cake. Let's see. This one's cotton acrylic. This one is, yeah, these are all cotton acrylics. And they have, this one has 481 yards. This one has 481 yards. Yep, these all have 481 yards on them. So, you know, that's a lot of yards to, I think with these 4, I could make a really cute blanket. And they kind of all fit together with the yellows and the corals and the oranges and the pinks, a little bit of green thrown in there. So I think it kind of goes with the picture, without pulling all the purples and the blues, because yeah, we've established I don't have a lot of purple. So anyway, that I'll start once I finish the Jacob's Ladder, and just whip out a bogey blanket, using probably the moss stitch, maybe a granny rose instead of a granny circle, just back and forth granny rose. I don't know, we'll see, something will come out of it. And I think it'll look cute. It'll be another great little blanket for Bogey Creek. Then I wanted to show you, I got a Happy Mail. Now, one of these Happy Mails goes with the Jackie at Crochet HD's cowl. She got together with Thriss. I don't know if you all know Thriss. She dyes yarn and she does custom dyeing. And they put together an 80s themed yarn colorway. And they said it was going to be Miami Vice. Now, don't get me wrong. What they sent is beautiful. It doesn't say Miami Vice to me. Not so much. It does scream 80s at me. It screams 80s living room. You know, because you think of Miami Vice, you think South Beach, and you see turquoise and yellow and neon pink and white and purple, and you think of, you know, the South Beach vibe, that Art Deco pastel-y brights. At least that's what I think of when I think of Miami Vice from the 1980s. Well, Thriss outdid herself with this colorway because it is gorgeous. So Jackie sent me the 2 that I ordered, along with these cute little, you know, 80s themed stickers. Is this not cute? The little Care Bears. So I've got the stickers, and then this is, and Thriss is full spectrum Thriss and Stitches. It's 100% extra fine merino, 437 yards of a fingering weight. And this is the colors that she came up with. Does that not look beautiful? Look how gorgeous this is, with the, you know, the pink going into the almost maroon and the teal. It's so gorgeous. And then into the, like, the purpley burgundy, and so soft. Absolutely gorgeous. I got 2. My thought originally when I got these was that I was going to make, believe it or not, I wanted to do leg warmers. Does that not, I mean, that says 80s, right? But I thought, you know, that's really not practical for me. So I'm on the lookout for a pattern that I can make using these two skeins that is 80s inspired, because I think these are just beautiful colors. And these are, I love these jewel tone colors. I just think they're so pretty. I love the look how the beautiful that dark blue is into the soft teal. Oh, it's just absolutely gorgeous. She did a beautiful job with this. So yeah, I don't know what this is going to turn out to be, but it's going to turn out to be something. Just don't know what yet, but it's gorgeous, isn't it? Isn't it pretty? Look how pretty that is, twisted up like that. Oh gosh, it's so gorgeous. She's very talented, Thriss. If you've ever watched any of her lives where she does the dyeing, she's pretty quite amazing. You know, for somebody who deals with the issues that she deals with, that she can make something this gorgeous. I mean, come on. Is that not beautiful? So that is the one Happy Mail that I got. And so now I have to come up with something for that. Oh, good gravy, is this soft. And the other Happy Mail I got from my dear friend Chris. Hi, Chris. Chris and I met up at the local yarn shop in Ormond Beach, during local yarn shop days. And we did some damage to our credit cards together, shopping for some really cute yarn. And she heard me say that she sent me this really nice note. Really, really nice note. And Chris, I do appreciate your note. It was very sweet. So she sent me, she said she heard me say that I wanted to try acid dyeing, and that at one time I had gotten a kit from, I think who did she say the kit? Hold on, I'll tell you who she said the kit was from. Knit Crate. She had these from Knit Crate when they were doing kits. Dyeing kits for beginners, and she had some left over, so she sent me over a bunch of different dye colors and a package of Kool-Aid. So we got some chestnut, we got some bright yellow, we've got, I don't know if this, I don't want to open this because I don't want to get it all over, but she sent me a bunch of Kool-Aid and some of the acid dyes from Knit Picks, so that I can try this out to see how I like using the dyes. And of course, you know, she couldn't stop at that. So she sent over, and she putting them in plastic bags in case this broke open. Smart, Chris. She sent over 2 skeins of this that I'm like, hello, 80s. So this is Lion Brand Anya Superwash Merino. 240 yards. That's a worsted weight, number 4. Product of Turkey. Machine wash, cold, light, flat to dry. Did I say 240 yards? Okay, yeah. So she sent 2 of these, and this is the color Folk Festival. Hello! She sent 2 of those. Again, can you say 80s? Color splash? Hello, look at that. Are those, and this is nice, soft yarn. Gosh, this is really, really nice. Lion Brand. Wow, I didn't know they had that. And it's got an easy center pole on it. I think she might have caked these up herself. But they are super, super pretty. So I have 2 of those. And then she sent, because, you know, why not? A 3-pack of Touch of Yak. And the color is, what's it called? Alabaster. Oh, Interesting. Interesting. Touch of Luxe, 100 Lion Brand Touch of Yak. 219 yards. It is a number 4. It's a 90 acrylic, 10 yak. Wow. Look at that. Would that make a beautiful cowl? Oh, so soft. That is perfectly lovely against your skin. So she sent a 3-pack of those. And I think that... and a dyeing level to do semi-solids. So here's like a little, you know, sneak, you know, instruction book on how to do it. Wow, that's cool. And then some patterns from Juniper Moon Farm, a little bolero jacket, and the Dakota cardigan. Ooh, that's cute. Oh, and the carousel shawl. That's gorge. So she sent me these 3 patterns and the instruction booklet. Wow. Oh, that bolero. Look at the backside of the bolero. Isn't that pretty? This bolero is made with Cumulus, and that's the one Jennifer at Cinnamon Stitches just raves about. So beautiful. Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate it. Who doesn't love more patterns, right? So, guys, that's it. I definitely am going to have more to show you because apparently I have been stress buying. A lot of yarn has been showing up at my house. Yeah, I really need to shut off the phone and not look at all my emails. And I know I have 2 orders from Expression Fiber Arts coming. I have an order from HUBBY coming. I have some happy mail that has come from Judy's Creations and Crochet. We did a swap. You know, when you're stressed out, you do things that are comforting, and looking at yarn and playing with my yarn and apparently buying yarn are comforting to me when I'm completely stressed out. Because, you know, I'm a hot mess. Believe me, I know. I'm not eating, I'm not sleeping. You know, it's not a good thing. But we're going to get through this. He is doing better, you know, little progress every day, and I think once they get him into the rehab center where it's an intensive program, he'll get back on his feet sooner than later. So with that, you guys, I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate all your love and support. I do not know that I will have a video on Friday. It just depends on what happens between now and then, as far as moving my husband to the rehab center and what all is entailed. But just know that I am thinking about you all, and I do know that I can feel your good vibes and your prayers coming our way, and I do appreciate it. So remember, and I'm trying real hard to remember to take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, you're no good to the people that you love. But most of all, be kind to everyone, and we'll talk to you soon.